My name is Teresa Sabankaya. I'm the owner, founder, and creative director of Bonnie Doon Garden Company. Amy Stewart featured me in Flower Confidential. She compared me to a 19th century florist, somebody who grows flowers and vegetables and would throw it on a horse-drawn cart and take it to the center of town and sell it. And I just thought that was such an amazing comparison, because when I started growing flowers, I thought it was odd that it was very difficult to find locally sourced flowers. It sort of triggered something in me to really do my business differently, because what I'm all about is using local, fresh materials, preferably organically and sustainably grown. The whole idea is contributing to the local economy. I know you want to feel good about your wedding and where things are coming from. It makes a big impact. I love what I do for so many reasons, but I'll start with flowers are beautiful things. They mean so much to people. They mean happiness, love, joyfulness. People are always surprised, they're delighted. It brings a smile to your face. I love seeing the look on their faces when they see their flowers for the first time.
Now for some romance.
I don't know, all girls like flowers. Make them smile for a minute, I don't know.
We find ourselves at the Bonnie Doon Garden Company, Teresa Sabanoya's tiny flower kiosk in the middle of downtown Santa Cruz, California. Here, top-quality Valentine flowers might cost you $100 or $10.
We can add a beautiful tulip in here.
And if you really want to make an impression between now and Valentine's Day, drive by.
You're my
Free with your flowers?
Bonnie Valentine.
A song from floral designer Nancy Heff. Since Valentine's Day is the day for roses, we thought we'd leave you with this quotation, author unknown. The rose speaks of love silently, in a language known only to the heart.
It's one of the most beautiful places in the world to me. That's what drew me here. When I had married my husband and moved into the family property in Bonnie Doon, this whole garden was basically a field of weeds, scotch broom, blackberries and stuff like that. And a really close girlfriend and I were looking out into this mess, and we decided, you know, let's try to make a business out of something that we love. My husband and I cleared out the property and started just planting lots of beautiful flowers.
For a florist like Teresa Sabankaya, they basically have an endless spectrum of plants and colors.
It was really sad to hear the stories of these amazing flower growers up and down the coast of California. They lost their businesses, and these, were businesses that they had had for years and years and years.
And it's been this gradual decline of American flowers. It makes no sense to me that a perishable product is being put on a jumbo jet and flown to my city.
It just did not make sense to me to have all this beautiful farmland, this weather that we can grow pretty much anything out here.
California Pajarosa represents one of just a dozen rose farms that remain in the United States.
That anchored into my business plan, that I was always going to source local.
gorgeous. Ooh, ooh, we got some James Story.
Ooh,
that what they're
nice.
called?
James Story.
Oncidiums,
Obsidian.
dancing ladies. So are you growing the pinks or the...
I am growing the pink ice proteas and the king proteas. Anywhere from 30 to 60% of the product, depending on the time of the year, comes from our gardens. I think people are drawn to flowers for a lot of reasons. And sometimes people realize that is incredible. The color is incredible. It's crystal clear. Each petal is perfect. How can nature do that? It's incredible.
I like the colors in this one. The combination of the yellows and oranges with the vibrant purples.
Teresa is like a florist from 100 years ago. You know, it used to be that florists were people who grew their own flowers and sold them.
You like that one, don't you?
I definitely do.
You're really resonating with the colors in that one.
I like this.
The idea of taking flowers out of a greenhouse or off a farm and bringing them into an urban flower shop, that's a relatively new idea. That's just 100, 150 years old, really. She started with a garden that was producing more flowers than she knew what to do with. And from there, she opened a flower shop.
I love this environment. I love being in the garden, and I do love being down at my shop too. But the garden is where it all started for me. A lot of the flowers that I grow and bring into my shop for sale are flowers that you do not see in a typical florist. We grow approximately 240 different varieties of roses. Mainly they are old garden roses and Austin English roses. I am trying to bring back the old-fashioned garden flowers that have an emotional connection with people. When people come by the shop and we don't have a bouquet out like this, I can see a look of disappointment on their face. What they really are looking for, what they really want to smell is this, an antique garden rose. That smells like what a rose is supposed to smell like. It's elegant, it's beautiful, and it's so fragrant. I grow my flowers organically because I want to offer my customers an opportunity to see that organic can be elegant, organic can be beautiful. Sometimes a little bug will drill a hole through a petal. In general, in the cut flower industry, that would be bad, but we have found it to be a desirable trait. The imperfect beauty sometimes is what people appreciate, and they appreciate because it's not perfect. It's just different. It's that, I mean, when you see a perfect homogenized, mass production rose, it gets kind of boring.
The modern flower trade is kind of consumed with the perfect flower, the leaf that is absolutely unblemished, the perfect petals. And we have to remember what it takes to get that way. It takes huge amounts of pesticide, huge amounts of energy to produce quantities of flowers so perfect. It's a very unsustainable business, the modern flower trade.
Teresa's a rare breed. She has a way of seeing beyond the industrial aspect of the flower industry. She'll walk out into a field and look through a patch of weeds and think, I wonder how that would look in a vase, and take it home and try it out. And people respond to that. I think people really want to feel that flowers have some soul and that they're alive, that they are living creatures. And she lets flowers do that.
When I put together a little nosegay of antique old garden roses and take them down to our kiosk, they sell immediately. And I think they sell so well because, number one, they're different. And the second reason is it smells incredible. And you can't get away from that. It's just, it stops you in your tracks. and people have to stick their nose in it. And once you stick your nose in it, you're hooked. So it's hard not to walk away with it.
You almost can't not get one.
I know. Well, they're just happy.
They are. They're beautiful.
You go to the farmer's market now anywhere, and there's often somebody selling flowers, and these are the flowers in bloom now. There's something, great about that. When the tulips come in, or when the roses come in, or the sunflowers, and in the same way, there's something great about the moment of the tomato and the strawberry. So I think this movement toward local and sustainably grown flowers is a really healthy development, and it sensitizes us to what's going on in the landscape now, in our place. It becomes a celebration of the moment and the place.